Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test account and we're looking at the Bountiful trials of Daemia. So overall guys, it seems like she is going to have some utility. There is a couple questions when it comes to the hero with the insight, tenacity, things of that nature with the crowd control aspect. But remember, in the campaign, they don't have the crowd control. When it comes to PvP, we are going to see exactly where she is going to be utilized and how she is going to be utilized. So let's run through the trials, guys. Now overall, you can see very cool looking hero overall. I like her build. So we're going to put Palmer in here. We're going to put the twins in here, Audrey, and then it is going to Navy, guys. This is going to be the formation that we're running. Again, this game mode, not very prevalent to what the actual damage is. You can see they have kind of really overscaled these trials. That the trials, the trial hero actually does a lot of damage in a majority of these cases. But I think with the buffs that she's going to provide, even looking there with Audrey, you know, the buffs overall are going to be very prevalent into a bunch of different, look at that, 7.65. That's what I was saying, guys. It almost looks like animation wise that she's not really doing any damage at all. But then when you look at the damage at the end of each battle, it seems like there's a ton. This formation stays the exact same. So we have Palmer in here for the boost. We have twins in here for the super cycle. And then, of course, we have Daemia with Audrey in here for the damage dealers. And again, in here, it's kind of hard to see the effects depending on the layout. But looking there, guys, look, 9.14 million. Kind of crazy. And if she continues to do this amount of damage in a bunch of different formations, it's going to be interesting to see. So this one, we're going to put Rowan in here. We're going to put Hodgkin in here. The rest of the heroes are actually going to stay the same. So we have Daemia right in the back. We have Audrey. And then we also do have Neve in the formation. So, of course, with this one, Rowan is going to provide the potion for Daemia or Daemia, depending on how you pronounce it. But you can see, guys, a very quick battle right there. Look at it, 4.85. Even though Kauthar was all over her, seems like still doing a considerable amount of damage. Now this one is going to be the exact same formation. They kind of run two together. Come in here, get your free elite stone, guys. Could be a copy of Daemia, essentially. Could be a copy of the Celestials and the Hypogeans, which are the reasons why we really do get all of the stones out of there. And consistently getting stones, I kind of look at it like the old baseball analogy. Every time you're at bat, you have an opportunity to get another one of these heroes. So the more stones that you have, the more chances that you do have to pick them up. And of course, this damage is going to be insane because she was up the entire time and Audrey was down. 7.50 million damage in this one, guys. And then we have our final one. This is going to be comprised of Oku, and the twins are going to be in this one. Backline stays the exact same. So for every formation in here, again, the backline does kind of stay the same. Again, it's going to be interesting to see where she lands in the Nightmare Corridor, the Cursed Realm, even where she lands in the PvP spec. Now, I know, again, a couple players over on Reddit were saying that you're going to have to go past the 9 of 9 furniture, which, yes, with heroes, you can go past that 9 of 9 furniture on the build. 7.33 million, just again because of the crowd control aspect and the ability to actually crowd control within a couple different game modes. This one, the final formation, guys, the exact same. We have Oku in here, which again, not many players really use Oku. You can see everyone just kind of died almost right off the bat in that formation. No thanks to Oku, but Daemia was definitely the one putting up a lot of damage in there. Which again, she seems pretty decent. I mean, 6 million damage, even if she doesn't come in as, you know, kind of the number one damage dealer in formations, I feel like she is going to be a very strong complement to a bunch of heroes just based on her kit, which we'll go through real quick, guys. So the ultimate ability, which is the Lush Shade. This, of course, Lush Shade for 10 seconds. So this is the ult when it actually changes the scenery, dispelling most negative effects, which again is kind of what Neve does. By all allies and enemies. During this time, there is no health recovery, which again is pretty huge. Damage delta's increase in health cannot be less than 20% from direct damage. So there is kind of a cap there. These effects don't work on bosses, which of course, after it ends, Daemia removes her control effects. swings her staff dealing damage. After Lush Shade has ended for 5 seconds, she can use her ult again. So she cannot chain this ult, which again, it does have kind of an internal cooldown. You can see right here, when it ends, she restores the health of all allies possessing Dewy Nectar for 280%. And then any excessive energy she has will increase her crit damage amplification. That is where the damage factor comes in with this heroes, guys. With every 1 energy point, boosting the crit amp by 0.1 point, up to 50 points. Now remember, this can also stack with other heroes. This can stack when you're running Palmer in there. This can actually stack much higher. It carries until the next time she uses her ultimate. So her ultimate can do an incredible amount of damage if she is buffed up with energy. Now, Days of Bloom, every 8 seconds, she grants Dewy Nectar to an allied hero. Big thing with her, guys, is she doesn't have the haste to actually slow this down a little bit, or speed this up quite a bit with the haste. Overall, again, looking at her build, looking at the signature items, there's going to be some buffs in there, which a lot of players, why they're running with the twins in there, also with the damage amplification that we see with Palmer. So now the Flurry of Petals dealing 200% of the attack rating to all enemies. If used actively when Lush Shade is active, the skill additionally restores energy points. Now, of course, the energy points are going to heroes with that Dewy Nectar. I keep saying it, network, which of course, when this is up, so if her area or her terrain altering effect is up, this is going to provide some additional buffs. And then, of course, depending on where she is right here at the start of battle, she grants Dewy Nectar to all allies within her side. Again, this is going to be big with the heroes being on her side of the battle. It doesn't say it is the allied side, it says it is on her side. So if she goes on the enemy side, again, could be a really interesting way to play this. Now, of course, the Torrid Wind, which the Scorching Monsoon is the ability. They take 3% more damage, stacking up to 8 times. And then you can see right down here, enemies lose energy points, which again, PvP aspect, that is big. And then any allies possessing the Dewy Nectar deal damage when Torrid Wind is activated. She summons a Winged Blade, dealing additional damage. And then, of course, the Sun, guys. Blazing Sun lasts for 10 seconds. So you can see everything she has a pretty decent duration, which is going to be interesting, because if you can introduce haste into this and actually start super cycling these, I believe you can get to the point where these will override, which again, this hero could be a little bit broken for the simple fact of getting the haste in there with the twins. We're going to have to see exactly where she is being utilized. Damage dealt is reduced by 5%. For every cumulative 10 times an enemy is dealt damage, they become stunned, which again, locking them down. When this Blazing Sun is active, the tenacity of allies possessing the Dewy Nectar is increased by 30 points, which again, we're going to have to see exactly how she comes in. Signature item, of course, it is all about that Dewy Nectar that we see through all of it. Once they have it 6 times, attack rating is permanently increased by 50 points, 50% points. I don't know if they mean 50 points or if it is 50%. We're going to have to see exactly what that equates to. And the damage dealt by enemies within the half of the battlefield to allies is reduced by 50%. That is right, guys. That is a massive, massive reduction. Now, what a lot of players were saying about the furniture itself, guys, is the tenacity aspect in here. So actually building up this furniture a little bit further to build up tenacity. So the crowd control works, because of course right here, we do have a crowd control aspect and a couple different, when the skill is not being used by Blazing Sun, this has the stun aspect right there for 5 seconds, which again, the furniture, you're going to have to build it out. Looking here, Magical Pierce, just more damage. And then the hanging furniture, of course, tenacity again, and insight. So both of those, the combination of those, again, with the baseline, a lot of players are saying you're going to have to build her out with some pretty high level furniture to really see the utility and the effectiveness of this hero. So, all right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.